and estar. And if you'll remember, what do both of those words mean? To be, thank you. To be. And so what does that mean? Does anybody remember? What does to be mean? Like if it's conjugated. Okay, I see. Hold on.
Like place.
No, okay, hold on.
Like I am.
Yes, there you go. Okay, that's what I was trying to get at. So for example, ser, the infinitive form is to be. Remember, infinitive always starts with a to because to infinity and beyond, right? But if you're conjugating it, if you have a sentence that says, in English it says TJ is
not here
at home, okay? So there's two choices in Spanish to translate the is. It can be ser or it can be estar. Both will translate into is in English, but are used at different times in Spanish, okay? So your page on page 21 tells you the different times that you use ser versus estar. Does everybody have that? Okay, so which one do you think you would use for is, just looking at this paper? In this sentence, TJ is at home.
Estar.
Okay, because estar use location, right? So I'm gonna write down the chart for ser. So for ser, and just to remind you, ser is yo. Yucky. Oh, it's like green poo. Okay. Yo soy, tú eres, él, ella, usted es, nosotros somos, and ellos, ellas, ustedes son, right? Those are the conjugations of ser. And you're going to use ser in these situations. Origin, meaning where someone is originally from.
What they do.
Occupation. What's the next one?
What they look like.
Description.
What they have.
Possession.
That's all I remember.
Time. And days. Date. Okay? So there are quite a few. What I prefer to think of is, instead of memorizing all of these, if you try to think about, okay, well, which situations do I use estar? And if it's not one of those, then I'll go to ser. So estar, if we conjugate that one, it is estoy, estás, está, estamos, and está, right? Okay. So for this one, we use it for location, health, like if you're feeling sick or unwell, emotions, and conditions like weather. I like to think of these as things that can change. Okay, now keep in mind there are some things on the ser that can change, but estar are things that can change. You're never going to put estar, you're never going to use estar for something that does not change. For example, Katie is smart. We're never going to use estar for that because you could argue that changes, but that is a characteristic of her. It's not going to change. We're not going to use, I wonder if this is showing backwards. I think it is, but that's okay. Oops, oopsie. You can, hold a mirror up.
I've been standing at Katie like this whole time, but I went.
Okay, so you're never going to use origin. For example, if you're from Sweetwater, if you're trying to say I am from Sweetwater, or I am Sweetwaterian, I am Tennessean, we'll say that. Your origin's never going to change. Where you are originally from never changes. That's something said. So something that never changes is never going to be estar. That's a little trick that I like to use. Okay, so there are also, there are these things called mnemonic devices or acrostics that you can make up to help you remember lists. And your project for tomorrow, your only homework for tomorrow is to do this. Now, you can do it you can literally make a mnemonic device, and a mnemonic device basically means you're taking the first letter of each word and making a sentence or some saying or something like that. So if you want to say, okay, to remember Sarah, I'm going to say only odd ducks play there daily. Okay? That can be your mnemonic device for ser. And Estar, your mnemonic device could be let him eat cake. Okay? So it does say to do it on a poster. You don't have to do it on a poster, but I do want you to like actually draw it out. If you're going to do that, make it colorful, make it something that could be hung on in the classroom for people to help people remember when to use ser, when to use Estar. Or I doubt you all are going to do this, but you could create a song to help you remember when to use ser or Estar, or you could make a poem to help you, just like the this and that poem. Either one of those two, or that poster one, which doesn't actually have to be on a poster, but it does have to look nice and neat. Does that make sense? So the goal of this project tomorrow is to come up with a way to help people remember, yourself included, when to use ser and when to use estar. Okay? So it needs to be creative, it needs to be catchy, and it can be a mnemonic device. It can be also an acrostic, that might kind of be what I just said. A mnemonic device. You could also be like a acronym. So you could turn this into a word that with the first letter. I can't think of what word has the letters LHEC. I can't think of one, but maybe you could.
Wait, LHEC?
Yeah.
Leech?
No, there's another. There's an A in leech. I know, right? I know, it stinks.
Add another E to the end that's used.
Just add one.
And have leche.
Okay, so that's your project for tomorrow. I will pass this out that explains it at the end of class. All right, let's go back to ser versus estar, and let's look at some examples. Okay, so 4.1 on your page. It says, esos hombres blank muy fuertes. Esos hombres blank muy fuertes. All right, first of all, what does that mean? We need to figure out what that means in English. Esos, what does esos mean? It's part of that poem over there. This and that both have T's. These and those, no T shows. So it's these are those, right? All right, okay, let me. All right. Okay. We're getting set up here. This is so professional. Take your motion sickness medicine before getting in the car. All right. So esos are those, right? Those hombres. What are hombres? Men. Those men blank muy fuertes. ¿Qué es fuertes? Strong. So those men are very strong. Which one of these would you use? Is it something? Now, you could argue it can change, but in general, it is a description, right? It is something that's pretty stable. So we're going to use ser. Now, which one of these ser verbs would we use there? What is the subject of the sentence? The men, hombres. So it's plural. Which one of these would we use? Somos is we. Son would be for them. Okay, does that make sense? Esos hombres son muy fuertes. So those men are very strong. ¿Por qué blank tú enojado? ¿Qué es? What does that mean?
Why are you?
It's an emotion. Yeah, that's what I just want to make sure. We don't use that one very much. Tú. So why are you angry? Okay, enojado. Which one does angry change? Like,
Yeah.
Are you always? Hopefully, that's not a characteristic of you. Although you could argue it could be. It's more likely an emotion. So we're going to use estar. So we're saying tú. ¿Por qué? Porque tú. Which one of these goes with tú? Estás. Okay, so estás. ¿Por qué estás tú enojado? Okay, mi tía blank periodista.
We haven't learned the periodista.
It was in Spanish 1 because my Spanish 1 class is actually learning it right now. Periodista is a journalist. Okay, so what's tía mean in español? Aunt. My aunt is a journalist. And keep in mind, when you're talking about profession, in English we put a in front of a profession, like I am a dentist, I am a teacher. In Spanish they don't, so don't worry about that. All right, but mi tía blank periodista. Is that an occupation? Yes. Why, wonderful. It is an occupation. And that is something that, yes, it could change, but for the most part, it's a stable thing. So you're using it for ser. Which one of these goes with mi tía? Soy, eres, es, somos, or son. Es, muy bien. Es. Mi tía es periodista. Okay. Pancho, di Pancho no blank en casa ahora. Pancho's the name of a boy, okay? Pancho is not en casa ahora, home now. So which one? Where are we going to use ser or estar?
Estar.
Muy bien. Okay. Pancho goes with which one of these? Estoy, estás, está, estamos, están. Está. Pancho no está en casa ahora.
Are we supposed to be writing down the translation of this?
You don't have to. Okay, y mi hermano y yo blank bastante bajos. Okay, what's mi hermano y yo? My brother y yo and I. Okay, otherwise known as we, just keep that in mind. Blank bastante bajos. What's bajos mean? Short? Okay, bastante. It's one of those adverbs. Is that adverb or adjective? I can't remember how you classify that.
Well, are we doing English form of what we do it or Spanish?
What is bastante? Double checking myself. I don't know why.
Very?
What in the world? Yeah. That's what I was going to say. I was going to say very. I think quite is the better translation. I just use Google to see because my first thought is very. Quite short. Okay. Mi hermano y yo blank bastante bajos. Which one is this? Is this something that changes? Well, I mean, if you grow, okay. But it's going to be ser, right? Because this is a description. So which one of these conjugations of ser are we going to use for mi hermano y yo? Soy, eres, es, somos, son.
It's somos.
Yes, somos. Somos goes with we or nosotros. And that's what we could change.
I wonder how I knew.
I don't know. It could not be that I gave you any sort of hints. All right, let's go to 22 and finish this up. Yes, there's más.
Oh my goodness.
Yo blank de los Estados Unidos. So I am from the United States. Which one of these are we going to use? It's origin, right? So ser. Which one of these verbs are you going to use? Soy. Yep.
Soy sauce.
I know. That's what I was thinking. And then I remembered how much I hate soy sauce.
I remember how to say I am from because last year you made us say it like 10 times at the beginning of every class.
Yes. Okay.
Like when you used to make
¿De
us
dónde
write-
eres? ¿De dónde eres? And then they would say, soy de Sweetwater.
Or
Soy de Madisonville.
Tennessee.
Soy de Knoxville. Okay. All right, G. El dinero blank de Magdalena. What is el dinero?
Money.
Money. Okay. I was waiting for somebody to say dinner. But good job. Okay.
I
The
know
money
this.
is from Magdalena. So which one? Origin.
Oh.
So which one?
I didn't.
When you're saying something is from somewhere, it's always going to be said. So we're going to use
It'll be
es.
yeah.
Yep.
Because it is also
It also goes, yeah.
I said oh because I didn't know that it was a place.
Gotcha. Well, it could, honestly, it's the name of a place, but it's also the name of a person. So I'm not sure. Either one, it's origin. Okay, mi cumpleaños, blank, el 13 de enero. So this is, it says my birthday, blank. What is 13 in English?
13.
13, good. De enero, what month is enero? Anybody remember?
January.
January. Okay, so it's a date. For dates, we're in ser land, right? Ser. So, mi cumpleaños es. Cumpleaños ends in S, but it is singular, right? My birthday. My birthday es el 13 de enero. Okay. Los tenedores. Oh, my ankles just popped. Anybody hear that? Okay. Los tenedores blank sucios. I don't know if we have done any of those words in this class. Anybody recognize them?
I recognize los.
Val.
Oh, we did. In the very beginning, we did a unit on that. Okay. And that's clean, right? No, it's dirty. Oh, I always get it mixed up. Okay. Los tenedores son forks. Okay. So the forks are dirty. Which one do you vaguely remember that now? Which one do you think that this would be? It is estar. It's a condition, okay? It's a condition that can change quite easily, right?
I thought it was gonna be possession for a minute, but
So we will use están, right? Because tenedores is plural. All right. Mi maleta blank debajo de la cama. ¿Qué es maleta? I think that was in your. Was it not in your words to know this?
Yes, and suitcase.
Yes, good job. Okay. My suitcase is debajo de la cama. Debajo de la cama. Under. Okay, great. La cama.
Oh.
Bed. I'm trying to give you hints. Okay. My suitcase is under the bed. So this is a location, right? So it's going to be está. Mi maleta. All right. Que hora blank. So it's asking what hour is it? Which one will you use? Es. Yep. Que hora es?
I also remember you asking
totally
us that.
Que hora es?
When we were learning.
Son las 9:14. Right? You know how to say what time it is? Beautiful. Okay. Evita y yo blank un poco cansadas. Evita and I are, what is un poco mean? A little. What que es cansadas? It's an emotion. It's sad. It's sad. You're sad.
Okay, I was gonna say sad, but then I was like, that's not right.
Sad. Okay. So it's an emotion. We're gonna use this. Which one of these verbs would we use though for evita y yo? Because we can replace that with the word nosotros, right? Because that means we. So which one of these goes with nosotros? Yes, estamos. Okay. Tú demasiado serio. You are always serious. Which one would we use?
sad? Because it's a description? You're gonna face, so I think I'm.
No, I'm trying to figure out if that is like a
Is it,
descriptive term.
So I
Well, because
thought,
it says always, so
it says
it's like
always,
a
so it doesn't
characteristic.
change.
I would accept either on that. I would say I
was
think
gonna
that's a
say-
description of a person. Like you are intelligent, you are serious. I'm gonna say ser as well. So which goes with tú? It'll be eres. Okay, estas tiendas blank cerradas los domingos. Okay, estas is not the same as estas. I should be writing accents over these. Esta, estas, está, estamos, están.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, this doesn't have an
I
accent.
feel like going
So there is a difference between estás and estas. Did you hear the difference saying them? Estas and estás. Okay, estás means you are. Estas means these. Okay, so these stores are closed on Sundays. Which one would we use?
sad.
It's a condition.
Okay.
So están. Estas tiendas están cerradas.
My bad.
I love the fact that Alexis goes, okay.
All right. De donde blank ustedes? So where are y'all from?
Sad.
Yeah, ser. Which one do we use for ustedes? Son. I'm so glad you got that. Son. Muy bien.
I always get usted and ustedes mixed up because they're like the same word but not.
What?
Yeah, you're right. They're not the same. Okay, I want you to keep this. We'll be using this more next week. So tomorrow your project is to work on some way that people can remember the difference between ser and estar. If you have something else in mind that is creative, feel free to do that. Okay, so I'm peacing out.
Yeah. It's gonna be a
Miss
piece
Howell,
of paper.
I'm like your favorite.